and I'm listening to Barbecue Central.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh, should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
All right, good evening and welcome to the really big Barbecue Central show. This is the show that talks about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling. We're broadcasting live and direct as we do each and every week right here from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. It also happens to be the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I am the non-aforementioned host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on a Tuesday evening. Lots of stuff to get into here tonight, but before we do that, if you want to get in touch with the show, this is how you do it.
You can get in touch with the show by calling 216-220-0966. Email Greg at the bbqcentralshow.com. On the Twitter and Instagrams at BBQ Central Show.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you didn't get the newsletter. Coming up in about 12 to 13 minutes from now, it seems that the parade of barbecue legends continues week after week here on the Barbecue Central Show. And the first interview segment will not disappoint when we use the term barbecue legend as well. You would know him from the competition scene. Perhaps more notably, you would know him from the barbecue sauce industry, specifically Head Country. That's right. Coming up right out of the gate, Vice President of Head Country, Paul Schodde. I have to say, I have wanted Paul on this show literally for years and years. I don't know why I haven't hooked it up yet. But that ends tonight. So in about 12 minutes from now, we'll get Paul on the show. We're going to be talking a lot about Head Country and the success of that sauce and who's using that sauce. And then if you didn't know, Paul is quite the accomplished pitmaster as well. And we'll talk to him about the state of competition barbecue, his background in barbecue. And a special thanks goes to Doug Scheiding for helping get this one set up. So I appreciate you, Doug, as always. And then we'll cruise on over to the 9:35 segment, and joining me there is the creator of the Another Pint Please blog/website, Mike Lang, will be joining me. You know, Mike is a unique character in the fact that he is a recipe developer. He does a lot of work, although I wouldn't call him a kept man by Weber by any stretch of the imagination, but he does a lot of work with Weber. He has a lot of Weber cooking equipment. And most notably is that new one that we've been talking about here, which what seems like the last 5 years, but it's only like a year and a half, is that Weber Summit charcoal grill. He's had like a year and a half worth of experience on that. So a little bit more in-depth use and can really give us the straight dope on how this thing is working. If it's exceeding his expectation, we can obviously talk price point because that's always a hot topic when it comes to the Weber Summit charcoal grill. And we'll also talk about some other things that Mike might be into, to include beer and barbecue, maybe. So we'll see how that goes. And then we'll cruise on over to the second hour. At 10:14, I met him down at the 2017 HPB Expo. I have a Fornetto outdoor wood-fired oven in the backyard, and I am in the process of putting together a Fervor ICS 350 gas grill, which will be probably replacing my old-timey Weber gasser, or the Weber's going to go on the side of the house and get ready to get a complete overhaul. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. But the brand manager of Gourmet Outdoor, Fornetto, and Alfresco Home, Rick Baker, joins me at 10:14. And then at 10:35, he is also a very accomplished pitmaster, doing very well here over the last handful of years. However, he is also putting together some really, really good barbecue competitions out there in the north central part of the country, very north, that being Wisconsin, Minnesota, the surrounding areas there. The pitmaster of Tim's Full Belly Deli, Tim Shop, joining us. Also, I think it's safe to say in that segment, if you have something that you've been waiting to get off your chest, that'll be a time for you to fit in as well. I don't know if we're going to go the whole segment with Tim, but we're certainly not going to rush him off the phone either. So whatever time we have left over, if you want to jump in, more than happy to have you. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Let everybody know right now that the show is live on the air. Get on the social media outlets. Hit up the Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTubes, the Pinterest. Do you do Pinterest? Google Plus. Does anybody do Google Plus? I've never seen it. I have an account because I have a Google account, but I've never posted on Google Plus like in the last 5 years. But what can I tell you? Here are the links to send people to. Audio only, my website, thebbqcentralshow.com. Longtime video syndication partner of this show, outdoorcookingchannel.com/watch-now. You can also get it on Roku as well. Just go to the particular IP television device that you use. If it is Roku, go to the App Store, search for Outdoor Cooking Channel. If you find it, download it, and then you're off and running. You can watch not only the live feed, but you can get a host of archives, not only of this show, but all the other shows that Kevin Bevington from Outdoor Cooking Channel has on that specific website/channel. All right, so here's a question coming in from Kevin Vigil. And I did ask, I almost said Kevin Hart, Chris Hart and Andy Husbands this last week, but I want to make sure that I start mixing this in quite a bit so we have a really good base answer to go off of. And it says this, Greg, I have a question that I would like to ask your listeners. What is the definition of a quote-unquote pitmaster? Is it someone who cooks on the weekend? Is it a professional barbecuer on the competition circuit? Can you be a pitmaster if you use a pellet cooker, or do you need to sit and tend the smoker? Thanks in advance, and if you pose this question to all the Centralites, I certainly appreciate it. And you're welcome, Kevin. Thank you for writing in. Always appreciate the time that people take to write into the show. So this is a really good question that I think can have a variety of different answers. In my opinion, how do you define pitmaster? I don't know how you define pitmaster. I think that we are in a society that still requires, especially the youth, everybody to win. We don't teach anybody how to lose anymore, which is kind of a really bad thing when it comes to the real life aspect of it. Participation awards, who cares? You play to win. You play for fundamentals. You play for fun, but you play to win. Let's win, right? So that doesn't help you define pitmaster. And I don't know if I even like the term pitmaster, and I use it all the time. I like barbecue cook or barbecuer. What makes me a barbecuer? It's the method that I'm cooking. It's the implements that I'm cooking with. It's the fuel that I'm using. It's the spices and the rubs and all this other stuff. Pitmaster to me almost seems like a rank of chef, or if you're in the military, sergeant, lieutenant, corporal, all of these things. But it's even less definable than those, because if you go to culinary school and you graduate, you can have title of chef. If you go into the military and you do what you should be doing, and you advance through the ranks, you get different rank calls, sergeant, private, sergeant, lieutenant, all this stuff. Those are earned and not easy to attain, but you can, if you do this, then you're able to quantify how you get to these different levels. I don't know how you would define pitmaster. Like, really, what makes you a pitmaster? I can say I'm a pitmaster, but am I a better pitmaster than an Aaron Franklin or a Darren Worth or a Dave Bosca, or you name it, on the competitive circuit, or some of these people in the restaurants, like I had mentioned, Aaron Franklin? There doesn't seem to be a definitive way to define pitmaster. And I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that if you cook on a pellet cooker or not. I mean, certainly, I believe one should really grasp the skill of how to build and maintain a fire over a long period of time, because to me, it's fun. I think that it's a skill that you can use not only when it comes to cooking, but if you ever got stranded outside, you would be able to build a fire and maintain a fire. So I think that's a skill you want to have, but I don't know if that makes you a pitmaster or not, because in the end, if you can get a fire going and you're able to maintain it and you still turn out a crappy product, you haven't hit all those keys. So maybe we can put together a definition of pitmaster, or maybe we can just leave it out of the lexicon going forward altogether. Like I said last week, everybody needs a label anymore. Come on. All right, folks, grilling season is officially open for business, and the place to head for all of your barbecue and grilling needs is Butcher Barbecue. Certainly, we know that Butcher's carries a great selection of barbecue products, but their portfolio of grilling items continues to expand as well. You've heard me talk about grilling oils for a while now, and I believe these products will change the way you cook forever. These items are shelf-stable, do not require refrigeration like the other butters do. And with a grilling oil, all you need to do is leave them by the stove or take them out to the grill, used as needed. Need a butter kick? Use butter flavor. Want a chipotle kick or a steakhouse kick? They got those flavors as well. And here's how I use them. The flavors aren't aggressive, so you can build layers of flavor as you flip. Flip the meat, little grilling oil, do it again, add the grilling oil. When I take the steak or burgers off the grill, I hit them with a light layer of grilling oil, and off they go to the table. Perfect. And because, again, they're shelf stable, they're never out of sight, out of mind. That's the worst thing that could happen. Never resting on his laurels, Dave Bosca is always in the flavor lab coming up with new stuff. The newest items out right now, his Grilling Addictions seasonings, available for sale right now at butcherbbq.com. Got to try those Grilling Addiction seasonings. Lastly, Dealers Wanted. If you currently own a barbecue and grilling supply store and you don't carry the Butcher's Barbecue lineup, what are you waiting for? And I can't believe you don't. Hit up butcherbbq.com and request info on how to become a dealer for them today. Not only will Dave thank you, but your customers will reap the rewards by getting these fine products in their hands to try for themselves. These products are extensively tested both in the backyard and on the competition trail, so you know they're going to deliver the goods when it comes to taste and all that other stuff. Head on over to butcherbbq.com and check out all of the products. You'll be certainly happy that you did. Again, that's butcherbbq.com. That's butcherbbq.com. Butcher's Barbecue. Always trust your butcher. All right. Paul Shoddy coming up out of the break. Very excited for that. Stick around. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Networks.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Welcome back. Folks, you love to barbecue, you love to compete, you love to win. Do all three with help from Smithfield since 1938. Smithfield has been providing high-quality, fresh pork products, and now they invite you to get smoking with Smithfield. If you're a competitive barbecuer, you can join the Committed Cooks program. Members who commit to cooking with premium, hand-trimmed Smithfield fresh pork receive swag and other great prizes. Commit to cooking with Smithfield and see what's going on in barbecue at smokinwithsmithfield.com. That's smokinwithsmithfield.com. All right, my first guest tonight keeps the cavalcade of barbecue legends appearing on this show going in full force. He is both a captain of industry in the barbecue world, especially in the sauce game, and he's also a top-notch championship award-winning pitmaster as well. let's head to the hotline and welcome the Vice President of Head Country and first-timer to this show, Paul Schoddy, joining me. Paul, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Greg, I'm doing just fine. And you?
I'm doing absolutely spectacular, Paul. Appreciate you making time tonight. And I guess before we get into the obvious questions of Head Country and exploring a little bit of background on your competition whole side of things as well, I mean, you're very unique in the fact that you have business and competition. So how about a little background about yourself if people are just kind of getting into this hobby and this industry and they're trying to learn about who the most influential people in barbecue are? I mean, you're certainly one of those. Tell me about a young Paul Schoddy growing up.
Hey, Greg, I grew up in Texas, Houston, Texas. My dad instilled in me at an early age the art of barbecuing. And we'd be working on the weekend, mowing the yard, doing different things around the house, but we'd always have something on the pit, which we'd call it down in Texas, whether it be a brisket or ribs or chicken or, and what have you. And it just was ingrained in me at an early age. And my mom also taught me how to cook. And I always enjoyed cooking, and then especially enjoyed outdoor cooking. And I was a school teacher and principal for 20 years. That's what brought me to Ponca City, Oklahoma. And interestingly enough, that's where Head Country barbecue sauce is made. I got to know Danny Head, the owner of the processing plant, probably 25 years ago. Well, actually 27 years ago in 1990, doing my first barbecue competition. And he asked me if I wanted to go out on the road and promote Head Country, the brand and the product. And I couldn't have been more excited about doing that. So I started doing that in 1991, and one thing led to another, and went to work for Head Country 17 years ago, bought part of the business in 2008, and just have enjoyed being involved in barbecue for, a long time.
Paul, it's a unique story. I mean, you're in education. Were you competing at some point while you were also a teacher and then ultimately a principal, or was that after the fact?
No, that was exactly the case, Greg. I went around the country and competed under the Head Country banner. Danny Head was Head Country, and I was Head Country Roman numeral 2, so I was Head Country 2, and competed all across the country. And, God bless me. I won numerous competitions, happened to win the Jack Daniel's World Championship in 1994, and just have had a tremendous amount of fun doing what I've learned from early on. And I'm almost 60 years old and still enjoy firing up the pit every time I do it, so it's just been a lot of fun.
Paul Schoddy joining me here on the show. The website, by the way, is headcountry.com if you want to check it out while we're chatting here. Paul, you've been with Head Country now, as you said, for, almost 2 decades or so, and you've been competing, kind of showcasing those products. How have you found the sauce business, I guess, as a whole, as you've saw originally when you started, 17, 18 years ago, to where the barbecue sauce industry in general is here in 2017?
Oh, Greg, it's amazing. When I met Danny in the early 90s, he showed me a sales sheet for barbecue sauces that a buyer could select from for putting barbecue sauce on the shelf. And there were 57 barbecue sauces on that sheet of paper. And today there's well over 1,000. And I would challenge myself as well as anybody to find another category in the grocery market that is more competitive than barbecue sauce. It is, for for every one that is there, there's 10 more wanting to take your place. So you've got to just market your product very well and work hard. But on the other hand, Head Country is a very unique barbecue sauce. Tastes great. This month, June, we turned 70 years old with our original barbecue sauce, and we make the barbecue sauce the same way today as we did in 1947, with the exception that we took anchovies out of the Worcestershire so that we can claim an allergen-free barbecue sauce. But if I gave you a taste of Head Country with anchovies and without, you wouldn't know the difference between the two. So we have the same quality product today that we did 70 years ago.
Paul, you mentioned, back in the day it was 57 sauces on a sheet for people to choose from. Now it's, well over 1,000, and maybe even more than that. When you look at, not to make weird comparisons, but when you look at, for instance, professional basketball, and you have kids coming out of college earlier and earlier, some right out of high school, there's always talk of the dilution of the talent pool. Can something similar be correlated to barbecue sauce when you had 57 of those originally, and now you have what seems to be a billion? My grocery store has half of an aisle that is specifically dedicated to barbecue sauces, and that wasn't the case even 6 years ago where I'm at here in Cleveland, Ohio. So is there a potential dilution of talent when it comes to barbecue sauce, do you think?
Yes, Greg, I think that there can be, but that's where Head Country shines, in that we stay true to our formulation, and we refuse to say, dilute the product down, make it cheaper, put more money in our pocket. We want to please the customer because it's all about the dining experience. You're in the backyard sweating to produce a good grilled or barbecue item for your family and friends, and then you put a good glaze, which Head Country is, or a condiment on the table, and it just creates another layer of flavor for people to enjoy. So we refuse to change that dynamic taste that's brought us to where we are.
Paul Schoddy joining me here on the show, Vice President of Head Country. Again, the website, headcountry.com. Paul, how has the company, in your estimation, been able to continue to stay relevant over these last 70 years or so? And I guess, in other words, how do you think, or what do you think are the key factors to the continued success of the Head Country brand?
Staying true to our formula, telling a real story, getting in front of buyers and encouraging them to look at who we really are to help them make their stores successful as well. We get behind a lot of donations, a lot of charity events. I got one today again that we've been involved in for over 10 years. And we donate barbecue sauce to their event, which helps make them successful. So they're a shining star in their community. And, we feel good about all those things. And it just, it's an overall dynamic. We talk about where America comes together around Head Country, around barbecue sauce. And it works. It's not fake. It's real. When I talk to people, and I do international business as well, I like to say outdoor cooking is the oldest method of cooking known to mankind, but Americans have made barbecuing and grilling what it is. And so when I go overseas, they want to know, tell us about barbecuing, outdoor cooking. You guys have made it so successful. What is it like? And it's just a joy to, reveal the secrets that Americans have perfected. And so we tell that same story to everybody and just get them involved and excited about barbecue.
Paul, when the original sauce comes out, what's the time frame or what's the genesis of other flavors getting added into the portfolio, and when do you decide that the market will bear yet another flavor?
That's an interesting question, Greg, because the original barbecue sauce in Oklahoma sells, close to 60% of the category. So it's a phenomenal thing in that realm when you're competing against major national brands that we outsell those. And so you just have to continue to poll and look at people and ask, what are you looking for? Are you wanting a different flavor? And we've come out, we've got 6 flavors now. The original hickory smoke, hot and spicy, chipotle, an all natural, an organic, and an apple habanero now. And so you just have to continue to look at the market. What's the right thing to do? Can you cannibalize your own brand or possibly, or do you just keep getting that niche out there so you're competing with whoever else is out there? Maybe they come out with something different or unique, and so then you may have to mimic that and say, okay, try ours. Because again, we're not going to put our name on something that's not representing the brand overall, and we feel like we're doing that.
Paul, from a retail standpoint, obviously you have a website presence where anybody could go online, order what you needed, and it's shipped to you. But how many brick and mortars are you in? Is that a facet of the industry that you believe in and that you continually try to grow?
Oh, sure. You have to look at that, and we look at data that shows where we are in the marketplace. And what's interesting about that, Greg, is that we are a relatively small company, 35,000 square feet company in Ponca City, Oklahoma. We make an average of 6,000 gallons of barbecue sauce a day. We rank number 10 in the country. And our distribution is a little bit less than 12%. So we have a small market share in the country, but we rank number 10. And we hang our hat on that, but we also don't look at, okay, we're satisfied, that's good, because there's somebody behind us that's always ready to come and, take a bite out of where we are. So we constantly look at what do we need to do to get to number 9 or number 8, because again, going back to that competitive nature of everybody, you just got to really watch what's going on.
Paul, when you think about competition barbecue, there's 2 sauces that come to mind. Obviously, Head Country, and especially for the guys that are out there in Oklahoma, there was the old saying that all the guys in Oklahoma do so good all the time because, A, they know how to cook, but then they use Head Country sauce to finish it off, and that's what wins the judges. The other one is Blues Hog, which everybody obviously knows about too. It's you and Blues Hog. How do you compare, contrast those 2 sauces?
They're uniquely different. They're both sweet, and Blues Hog has just a different makeup to it. And there's a number of people out there that will combine the 2, Head Country and Blues Hog, and then do very well. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it's just that overall dynamic taste, layer of flavor. It's what, you can't tell a chef anything. And so you can't tell a barbecue cook anything either. And so if he lands on something, if it's a combination of Head Country and Blues Hog, or Head Country and some other ingredient, then more power to him. because we don't go compete to lose. We go to compete and win. I will have to say though that the last 16 world champions at the Jack Daniels have all used Head Country. Now, did they change it a little bit? I don't know, but I know for a fact because they've told me that they've started with Head Country barbecue sauce as the base, and then maybe added honey, Blues Hog, what have you. And so it's been enjoyable to be a part of that ride, for the last 16 years. So,
Paul, from a business side, if all of a sudden somebody was able to kind of pinpoint, I'm using X amount of Blues Hog, X amount of Head Country, and this all of a sudden really seems to be dominating and people are winning, and you know how it's like in competition barbecue. Once somebody sees this is what's winning, everybody wants to race out and do it. Would you be open to like some kind of a conversation with Blues Hog about putting together like a specialized competition sauce, or is that almost a little too keeping your friends close and enemies closer, if you will?
Oh, that would be an interesting conversation to have. But I want everybody on the competition circuit to be as successful and happy as I've been for the last, 27 years. I've had a great ride competing and winning like I have. And there's nothing more exhilarating than getting your name called as grand champion. And so if there's a chance that we can make something that helps not only a competitor, but it starts in the backyard, because people don't go to competition and say, oh, I'm going to compete without being successful in the backyard first. They have to have built themselves up to, okay, now I want to go on the road and see if I can do this. And so, any way that Head Country can help the backyard chef get to the next level, I'm all for it.
Paul Sciatti joining me here on the show. He is the vice president of Head Country, and the website is headcountry.com. Paul, we really spent a lot of time on the sauce, and I'm not going to have enough time to get into the competition stuff. However, that means I'm going to have you back on so we can talk about competition progression over the time that you've been into it. So hopefully we can schedule that sooner than later, but I appreciate the time tonight.
Oh, Greg, enjoyed the time and would love to talk competition, and we'll do that again.
All right. Appreciate it.
Take care.
You got it. There he is, Paul Sciatti.
Right.
How fun was that? Again, I don't like to just toss around the terms barbecue legends.
All guests on the Barbecue Central show appear via the Smithfield Hotline.
However,
yummy.
I think I'm kind of correct in saying that, especially if you're in the competition scene, and is it safe to say that, Dave, you would know this since you're an Oklahoma guy. I mean, is it safe to say that Head Country is kind of a regional popular barbecue sauce? A lot of guys in competition obviously know about it, and that disperses across the country. But when you said that Head Country is doing 60% of retail barbecue sales in the state of Oklahoma, that's a lot. 60%. And there's a lot of barbecue sauces out there right now. I don't know if you've looked at your grocer's barbecue sauce aisle, but there never used to be a barbecue sauce aisle, and now there are barbecue sauces aisles all over the place. There's a barbecue restaurant in Wooster, Ohio, and they exclusively carry Head Country barbecue sauce. This is the first place I had it. It's delicious. I love it. They make these great smoked wings, Head Country sauce on it. Oh, nothing better than that. All right, folks, let me talk to you quickly about the Pit Barrel Cooker. Gang, pulling the trigger on a new cooker can be nerve-wracking sometimes. Temperature control, fire management, what woods to buy. Should it be a pellet cooker or not? Who needs the hassle? Might I strongly suggest a Pit Barrel Cooker. The Pit Barrel Cooker makes cooking simple and fun, and it might be the most unique, versatile, and easy-to-use cooker available on the market today. Imagine a single cooker that turns out the traditional great barbecue meats, while also being able to ramp up in temperature to do those burgers, chicken wings, and hot dogs. The Versatility, all thanks to a revolutionary design that goes beyond traditional convection. Their hook and hang method places the food in the center of the heat so it's acting like a stationary rotisserie, if you will. Not only is the pit barrel a fabulous cooking vessel, it's aesthetically sexy as well. Built to withstand heat, thanks to its porcelain enamel finish, the pit barrel is able to withstand any type of weather. Also extremely portable. It fits in the back of most trucks, vans, and SUVs. It's ready to go wherever you are. And of course, barbecue folks love accessories. And the pit barrel doesn't disappoint here either. From rubs to the unique removable ash pan, pit grips, turkey hangers, hinged grill grates, coffee mugs, beer koozies, stainless steel rub shakers, you name it. A full line of accessories to really complete your pit barrel experience. And the best part of all, for $299, the pit barrel comes fully assembled and ready to cook on. And it ships for free right to your door. Not only does the cooker ship for free, but everything they sell ships free to lower 48. Don't take my word for it. The folks at AmazingRibs.com continue to sing praises, not 2 times, not 3 times, but 4 years in a row. They have made it their Gold Division highest rank, by the way. 4 years in a row. Head on over to pitbarrelcooker.com, see what everybody's talking about, and be sure to check out their full collection of short how-to videos. Then pick up 1 or 2 for yourself. You'll thank me later. If you have any questions, you can contact them through their website or call 502-228-1222. That's 502-228-1222. And yes, they'll actually talk to you. Find out what great customer service is all about at pitbarrelcooker.com. All right, Mike Lang coming up out of the break. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Ready to get on the air? Call 216-220-0966. Now, let's get back to the LeBron James of barbecue talk. Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Green Mountain Grills, manufacturers of some of the best pellet cookers out there on the market today, and high-heat pizza ovens. If you're looking for a big cooker to house a lot of food, they got one for you. Medium size, got you covered there too. How about something to take on tailgates or camping trips? They got one too. Again, you got the pizza insert as well. They can also supply you with pellets to fire those cookers. Check them out at greenmountaingrills.com. That's greenmountaingrills.com. I love my Green Mountain Grill. Actually, I should say I love my Green Mountain Grills. That's plural now. You could love yours too if you just visit the website, greenmountaingrills.com. All right, my next guest is one of the most respected live fire bloggers out there today, doing quite a bit of work with the folks at Weber. Let's head to the hotline and welcome back the creator of the Another Pint Please, or another one, or another. Mike Lang joining me here on the show. Mike, how are you, buddy?
I'm great, Greg. How are you?
Absolutely fabulous, Mike. Appreciate you taking the time out to join me again. And I guess first and foremost, if we could just roll it back just real quick, a little thumbnail sketch on how you got into Another Pint, please.
Yeah, I mean, it started off as a travel blog with a trip with my wife over to England. At the time, the phrase I was going to utter most was simply, another pint, please. And from there, the title of the blog was born. Of course, when I got back home, travel was done, and quickly I realized I enjoyed taking pictures of food. And next thing you know, I was taking pictures of my dinner in the backyard, and one thing led to another, and 10 years later, here we are.
Wow. 10 years?
Yeah,
wow.
I can't believe it.
So, your blog and my show are coinciding in age. How about that? Wow.
A little simpatico.
How about that? All right. So lately, Mike, you've been doing a lot of work with, if anybody follows you, you're a huge fan of Weber, which I think most of us live fire guys are pretty big fans of Weber. I mean, you have obviously great quality, but to me, warranty number one. But geez, I don't know if you can find a lot of other companies that give you the customer service, flat rate shipping, the help on. I remember the first time I had to do a burner change, and the lady's like, honey, no problem. I'm going to sit here and walk you through it. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. it's absolutely fabulous. I mean, you find the same things to be true?
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. And granted, I've got a special relationship with Weber in that I create content and work for them. But before that, I was truly a fan. I mean, how many other grill companies do you see where people go out there to find old grills and restore them and still cook on them? And it's because of their love for that kettle. It's fantastic.
Mike, talk to me about the work that you've been doing lately with Weber. And I guess because I'm a guy that always loves to draw back the curtain wherever possible. You watch your video, maybe you see 60 seconds or 90 seconds of a whole finished thing, but it's got to be way more than that, right? And then there's the time that you put in to actually produce it and get it up on the internet. So talk to me about the work you're doing and then what it's like to actually make another Pint Please shoot.
Yeah, it's pretty a detailed process. Like you said, you kind of scale it down to 60 seconds to 90 seconds because anymore, that's kind of what our span of attention is.
Right.
So the key for us then is to make something that's manageable, that's enticing, that you want to be able to go home and grill. And it's not only catering to those of us in the community that are grilling outside almost every night, but also people that look at grilling as a season of a few months. They only want to go out and cook burgers. So it's trying to corral all that into one.
Mike, hold on one second. Mike.
So
hold on
pretty
one
much
second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to hang up on you and call you back because I'm just getting this very annoying thing that is not going to make for a good podcast. So Hang on. I'll call you right back. Wow. Sound like Max Headroom, right? Max Headroom. Looks like. All right. Mike?
And we're back.
All right. We'll try that. No problem. All right. Continue. I'm sorry to have interrupted.
So, in essence, for 60 to 90 seconds, you're talking easily, depending upon the cook, 3 or 4 hours of actually shooting around the grill, getting everything together. And then from there, another 2 to 3 hours to edit it all down into its final package. So even for the short rib taco video, which was the most recent one, believe it or not, there were scenes from 3 different days. And in the end, it's 90 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. And some of it's also because, of course, I screw up, but still, I also know our community is also very particular. And whether it's a charcoal issue or a gas issue, if you've got something that's just not right or not authentic or not real, someone's going to call you out on it. And our goal is to put always that best foot forward and make it as real as possible.
Will you include the mistakes and like the extra realness of it all, or does that always manage to find its way on the cutting room floor? Because it would for me.
Well, it depends. Sometimes there's some choice words that are spoken, which are usually, it's pretty funny, not always ready for prime time. But there's certainly some B-roll out there that has a few gems on it.
Yeah. Will you make like a bloopers reel and just kind of keep it and maybe watch it amongst family and friends?
I will slowly add to it. Let me tell you.
Mike Lang joining me here on the show. The website, by the way, anotherpintplease.com, and you can find him on the Twitter at anotherpintpls, which is short for please. One of the other things that I wanted to talk to you about, Mike, is the emergence of the Weber Summit Charcoal Grill. And you have kind of a unique perspective. You've been messing around with it, I guess, for the better part of a year and a half or so. But when it was originally unveiled, I believe it was a year and almost a half ago, a lot of people wanted to put it in categories and kind of call it the ceramic cooker killer. And I don't necessarily know if I agree that it was being put in the market to slay any type of a Kamado cooker per se, because they're kind of wildly different. Similar in the fact that, there's insulated, but the Weber is dual wall insulated just with the air versus the ceramics, things of this nature. Obviously the look is a little bit different. From your estimation, how do you see Weber approaching that market, and what do you think it's winning at, and is there anything that it's lacking at?
Yeah, I can't speak specifically to what Weber's belief is, but what I do know is they believe there was a niche to fill, and they filled it. And I was lucky, as you mentioned, to have contact with the grill before it was ever released to the public, and start working on it and creating content and putting through its paces. And very quickly, I think it was about a year ago, I think we first talked about it. I was basically blown away by it. Currently I've got 10 grills that sit on my back deck. And if I had to get rid of all of them, or we had a Southwest Ohio weather event move through and I lost 9 of them, the one grill I would want left standing is the Summit Charcoal Grill, because it really, it does it all.
From a size standpoint, what is it going to, how much can it accommodate, I guess, or how much have you jammed on it?
Well, think of this. Typically I've got 2 performers, and then I also have a 26-inch kettle. I haven't fired up the 26-inch kettle in probably a year, which I know is blasphemy to say. I haven't touched one of them, but I really haven't. I haven't needed to. I mean, outside of direct grilling, you figure the Summit charcoal drill's got about 24 inches. If you're feeding either a large party or a group of family or friends, it's going to easily cover it. You're going to talk low and slow and smoke for a long period of time. Add in the extension rack, and you can easily fit on there a brisket, 2 pork shoulders, and you're going to create a substantial amount of food. So size-wise, for me, it perfectly fits the mold.
It does come with a few accessories. Right off the bat, you have that deflector plate. It does have. There was something else that I'm forgetting right off the top of my head, but you can get it either. I don't know if you call it like bare bones, or you can get it with the cart as well, which is nice.
Right.
So, do you have the cart one, or do you have the leg one?
Right, I've got the cart at the Summit Charcoal Grilling Center, which has got the cart, some extra storage, and then an area for the charcoal to go underneath, which is nice. I like it for the prep area that it has. There's always a place to put something outside, and I like that a lot. I think one of the things too, which I'm kind of blown away by, is efficiency and fuel. For instance, I smoked a Packer brisket over the weekend, and I maintained 225 for 15 hours.
Wow!
I choked it off at that point when I was done, and then I ended up firing it up again with the remaining briquettes down in the bottom, and got another 3 or 4 hours out of it.
Wow!
Off of simply loading up that bottom lower fuel grate all the way full of Weber briquettes, and to me that's phenomenal.
How do you go about regulating the temperature? Do you do top vent adjustment? Do you do both top and bottom vent adjustment? What's the easiest way that you found?
Yeah, I only use the top vent, lock the bottom vent in at the smoke setting, and then use the top vent to regulate from there, which is kind of funny. I remember on the Performer years ago, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, looking on the internet or any of one of the great barbecue forums, is I actually manually needed areas to close that lower vent down to really smoke on a kettle. So I knew, okay, here's a half open, a quarter open, and Summit Charcoal Grill's kind of taken that and moved it forward. It makes it much more easier.
Mike Lang joining me here on the show. AnotherPintPlease.com is his website. Have you had any use of those Weber charcoal briquettes?
I have.
All right. So talk to me about those. I mean, obviously it's a winning combination for Weber to be able to provide now fuel. I think before it was always Weber Grill, Kingsford Charcoal. They were married, and forever and ever it was just that's the way it was always going to be. And then Weber stepped out and said, hey, we have this better charcoal right here. So how do you find, how do they work separate and together?
Yeah, to me, successful. Right away when I first got them, I did my little sort of non-scientific backyard test, like a lot of us have probably done, and I found out under my conditions that I was able to get them to burn hotter and longer than the briquettes that I typically use. So for me, it was kind of a no-brainer. I like the size of them compared to the traditional briquettes that I was using. So I've used them now for about 3 months, and I don't see myself going back. And I'm not just saying that to shill for the company. I say it because I believe it.
How much is a bag of Weber charcoal, and can you get it anywhere? Does it have to be at a Home Depot, or is it a specialty thing?
Actually, as of late, down here in Southwest Ohio, I've seen it at all big box stores, believe it or not, Lowe's, Home Depot, and even a Meijer I was in. So it's prevalent and it's everywhere if you see it. Yeah.
How much bigger is the briquette compared to a competing Kingsford? Is it like 2 times the size?
Without getting scientific, I would say probably about 1.5 to maybe just under 2 times its size. Yeah.
Wow. And then ash production, or the ash it leaves, is it comparable or less than what you would think?
I think it's less ash. What I like though too, it seems to burn cleaner. I don't have as much ash to pick up. In other words, when I'm all said and done. But also, what I like, especially using the Summit charcoal predominantly, is I just choke it out, shake out the ash, and then I'm using it again. I'm finding myself using that process a lot more than I ever was using other briquettes.
All right, Mike. You're Southwest Ohio. I'm Northeast Ohio, North Coast. I have seen a incredible expansion in barbecue restaurants up here, I would say within a good, hour to 2 hour radius. So that puts us almost down to the Columbus area. I was just there this past weekend, and City Barbecue has been here forever and ever, and I really haven't seen a lot of, or heard a lot more of stuff coming into the Columbus area, but up here in the Cleveland and a little outlying areas. It seems to be growing and growing, and some hit and then they peter out and go away. And there's probably 3 or 4 right now up here in the greater Cleveland area that I would feel very comfortable recommending to people if they were coming to visit. What about in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky to actually have some really good local non-franchise barbecue spots close by. But certainly we've seen an uptick in barbecue down here as well, and a lot of really just small up and comers that want to smoke meat and bring their own pit magic to the masses, and it's happening and being well received.
Are you in Dayton?
I am.
Okay, and you're a police officer by profession, correct?
Yeah, 20 years plus. Yep.
All right, so there is the Dayton. I'm going to totally lose everybody on this question, but I have to ask you. A year ago, I was at Dayton for a volleyball tournament down at the convention center. And if you're walking towards, is it Oregon Street or Oregon Park, whatever? There's a place.
Yeah, the Oregon District.
There's a place as you're walking from the convention center to the Oregon District that's a barbecue place. Have you ever eaten there? You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I've walked by it probably a million times. And I've never stopped in. I'm
really
usually going from one pub to the other. So don't judge me.
Oh no! I mean, the only reason I probably didn't stop was because it was like 10:30 in the morning. And they just weren't open yet. But I was like, I mean, it's a crapshoot. I'm looking at it going, this would either be really good, or the other part of me is going, it's Dayton. It's probably got to not be really good. But didn't get a chance to try it either way, so, I'm not saying. But do you continue to see more and more of an interest in live fire down in your neck of the woods?
I do. I mean, whether just through my outreach with friends in the community for things I do, there's certainly a never-ending interest in what's happening. It seems like grilling demos are becoming a pretty common thing anymore. And everyone likes, especially this time of year, which I know summer, but people want to be outside and they want to do something different at the grill, whether it's actually learning to barbecue or simply a different way of approaching a steak or a chop, or using lamb for a change instead of pork. It's definitely things that it's increasing.
You can find Mike Lang at anotherpintplease.com, shooting great video, high quality videos, I might add. Beautiful things to watch. You're kind of a master at this whole thing. You've gotten very good at it. And someone who can appreciate the work that goes into it. Very well done. Again, anotherpintplease.com. It's Mike Lang. Thanks so much for coming on the show, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
You got it. There he is. Mike Lang. What the flip was happening there? Sometimes you call back and I think there was some kind of a computer thing going on there. Too bad. I mean, easily one of the most audibly wonderful guests that I've had in maybe ever. I mean, he sounded like he was in the studio with me until the Max Headroom thing started kicking in. But I don't think that was going to get rectified, but I can fix that for the podcast people. Thanks again to Mike Lang from Another Pint Please. All right, folks, let me talk to you about the longest running sponsor of the show, located in Warminster, Pennsylvania, the Barbecue Guru. Gang, if you've been thinking about automatic pit temperature control devices for your cooker, stop here. This is the company that started it all. They are the creators of this technology. Why are you going to buy from any other company? Not familiar with how these little beauties work? I don't get into the minutia here, but imagine a product that allows you to set your pit temperature, and once set, keeps it running at that temperature all the way through the cook. Sound too good to be true? It's not. It's real life. You can take advantage of this technology right today. Why? Because maybe you're a busy working professional, or perhaps you're constantly on the run with kids doing errands, and quite frankly, you just don't have the time to set around and tend pit temperatures. I get it. The Barbecue Guru allows you to throw on a pork butt, a brisket, a couple slabs of ribs, or all of that, and you're off to do whatever it is you need to get done. And the Guru maintains that pit temperature you set it at. You got 4 different models to choose from right now? We have some new products that I was talking with Bob Trudnak about here the last day or so that we're getting ready to introduce. So really looking forward to that. If you want an easy point of entry in the pit temperature control device, idness, for like $130, the Party Q is the place you want to go. Easiest point of entry, as I just said, runs on AA batteries. Completely self-contained, can go from a bullet-style cooker to a kettle-style cooker to a Kamado-style cooker. It doesn't get better than that. Do yourself a favor, head on over to bbqguru.com, check out their products, and if you have any questions about what to order, call them directly. Don't guess. Oh, please don't guess. 800-288-GURU. They'll make sure you're outfitted with exactly what you need to get you up and running right out of the box. That's 800-288-GURU. Or visit bbqguru.com. All right, we're back to wrap up the first hour right after this. You are listening and watching the Barbecue Central show right here on the Barbecue Central Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by CookinPellets.com, your number one source for quality wood pellets for all your pellet-driven cookers. You can visit CookinPellets.com for more information or to purchase. You can also visit Amazon.com to purchase as well. Don't forget to download the Cookin' Pellets app. You'll be alerted to special shipping deals, a bunch of other stuff as well. Check out all their products. Come on now. CookinPellets.com. Chris Becker is a beauty. If you ever get the chance to meet Chris Becker in person, he's a card, that's right. All right, thanks again for Mike Lang for joining me this past segment. Not sure exactly what the audio deal was there. However, I am not too worried about it. Why? Because we'll get it figured out in the next time. He's going to sound like he's right here in the studio with me. He had a real microphone. He had a nice camera going on. A lot of things that were really good. A lot of things that are really good about what he was doing as a guest. Some of you people could take notes on it. All right. I think we're all set up for the second hour. Mike's website again, Another Pint Please. On the Twitter, Another Pint PLS. Worth the follow. And again, if you've never been to Mike's website, he's obviously using like mega high definition cameras. He's got them like set up probably on poles because there's a lot of top down shots. And then he just puts together in a masterful way these things that you just want to like watch over and over again. It's very good. Let me see here. I'm reading a comment that somebody made on the May 3rd show of last year, and I have no idea what the heck he's talking about. Holy moly. John Dawson saying that the digital stutter is pretty impressive. I agree, John. And let me see. Okay. That's for softball this coming. I'm going to be in Toledo this coming weekend if everybody wants to hang out at the softball tournament in Maumee. Come on. Who's ready? Well, summer's coming because it's getting really hot in here. And it's not even 90 degrees outside like it's going to be in about a month from now. So I got to figure a way to get air conditioning in the studio before I literally sweat to death and pass out. You can't see it, but there's a bead of sweat running right down there in the shadow. I got to keep my head turned so you don't see it. Very unprofessional. Makeup. All right, we're going to step away here, reload for the second hour. A couple good interviews coming up. Got some thoughts to share with you here at the top of the second hour. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hi, this is Greg Rempe, host of the Barbecue Central Radio Show. And you are listening to BCRN, all barbecue and grilling all the time. Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Fine, how you doing?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan. So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the Charbono, dude.
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
Oh, listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
All right, just like that, we are in to the second hour. Hey-o! Folks, you've done it. You've made a major accomplishment in your life. You've found the Barbecue Central show, whether it's live or on iTunes or Google Play or however it is you're consuming your situation. This is the show that talks about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling. We're broadcasting live and direct from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. And you can get in touch with the show, although people rarely do it through phone calls. But if you are interested in trying that out at some point tonight, here's how you do it.
You can get in touch with the show by calling 216-220-0966. Email Greg at the bbqcentralshow.com. On the Twitter and Instagrams at BBQ Central Show.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. Is that still recording? I can't tell. I think it is. It's like I don't want to hit the... Yeah, okay, it moved. You know, you never want to go ahead and hit the stop button because that'll just ruin everything. All right, folks, still to come on the show tonight, Rick Baker from alfrescohome.com, carrying the Fornetto and Fervor brands. That's about 12 minutes from now, and then helping me close the show tonight, Tim Shop first, and then if you guys want to jump in at some point, you're more than welcome to do that, 216-220-0966. Scott Shimano asking, can I get a birthday shout-out to Michael Del Campo? He's 9 years old. Nine. Yeah, okay, Does he have 9 pieces of vinyl? Happy birthday to Michael Del Campo. The National Pro Barbecue Tour presented by Sam's Club rolled out into Laurel, Maryland this past weekend. It was a local qualifier that sends the top 6 teams to the Commonwealth of Richmond, Virginia on August 26th. The top 6 teams moving on to that regional final are your grand champion with a 681.6, Wolf Revenge Barbecue. Congrats. Second place, friend of this show, former team of the year with a 671.86, Three Eyes Barbecue. Shout out to Danny. Number 3, Old Colony Smokehouse with a 670. Fourth place, Life is Good, but Barbecue is Better with a 670.1. Fifth place, I'm guessing it's either Pavoni or Pavone Brothers Barbecue with a 686.4. And rounding out the top 6, 420Q with a 667. Now, if you were listening and or paying attention, this was a dominating performance by Wolf's Revenge Barbecue. Again, points difference between RGC and GC, 10 points. Wolf's Revenge with a 681, Three Eyes with a 671. So Wolf's Revenge really bringing the hammer. And almost a 26, no, That's a 13-point gap from 1 to 6. So, again, we talk about it from time to time here on this show. How many times have we seen a barbecue competition get decided on a 100th of a point or a 10,000th of a point? This one, not that much in question or in doubt. Wolf's Revenge with a 10-point over second place. That's pretty phenomenal. But congratulations to all 6. Moving on to that Richmond, Virginia regional final. Again, that's August 26th coming up in a few months from now. The next National Pro Barbecue Tour from Sam's Club will take place this coming weekend in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So good luck to everyone competing. So here are the emails that I have been getting, not by the truckload, I would say, but certainly on a fairly regular basis ever since 2 weeks ago when the Hall of Fame inductees were announced here on this show, released for public consumption by the American Royal. Dear Greg, are you pissed or not? Pissed about what? That I'm not in the Hall of Fame? Sorry. No.
Get that big stuff out of here.
I'm not. I'm not pissed because I didn't get picked. And don't forget, the idea behind what I termed the groundswell this year and last year. Did I do it last year or was that 2 years ago? I think last year they snuck it right by me and I didn't realize it. But I was watching this year for the request of potential nominees. For the record, 100% not pissed. For the record, 100% satisfied and happy for the 2017 inductees for this year's Hall of Fame. Melissa Cookston, Famous Dave, and somebody else that I'm not going to remember right now that I should remember, of course. Who is it? Didn't I just have him on last week? Yeah, I did. Oh, jeez. Jeff Staney. No problem. All deserving to be in the Barbecue Hall of Fame. Of course. Now, I did send yet another message to bbq@americanroyal.com, which I believe is still an active email address because I didn't get a bounce back when I sent it, inviting whoever, because it's a generic email address, I don't know who to make it out to, but say, hey, to whom it may concern, would love to have you on the show to talk about the class of 2017 going into the Barbecue Hall of Fame. I'm more than happy to talk. Would also love to talk about how you're getting suggestions, how those suggestions are whittled down, what kind of a conversation is taking place. Now, to this time, no response back. But again, here's what I would like to know. Here was my impetus on wanting to have all of you get me into the Hall of Fame this year. And it's not to be in the Hall of Fame. That may or may not ever happen, and it does not validate me as a internet host if I get into any Hall of Fame. What I should be getting on every year is the Talkers Top 50. That's what I should be on. But I'm not on that either. So trust me, the skin is thick, especially wounded up from the day job. So not being answered or getting told no, it happens all the time. Here are the key points that I want to continue to press out there because I think they're very important when you talk about halls of fame. The best of the best, right? Number one, who makes up the Hall of Fame voting committee? Isn't this something that we should be fully visible on? It should be completely transparent. This should be listed on the American Royal website. Here's the Barbecue Hall of Fame voting committee, boom, and they're all listed. I have no idea how many people that would be. Could be one, could be 100,000. Who knows? Number two, who gets to vote? Is it just the people that are deciding who's going in? Are they one and the same? Is the Hall of Fame voting committee the same as people who get votes or get to vote? Are they separate? Want to know that? Number three, How does the voting process work? Is there an open dialogue? Is there a secret meeting? Are there underground Skype conversations saying, here's who we have, or here's who we're going to? How do you even consider who's going to be solicited or up for nomination? Or do you just throw everybody in a pot and see how it works out? What are the conversations being had on why or why not somebody gets in? Next one, how are the nominees generated besides soliciting? Because soliciting nominees means it's a potential popularity race, which also may prove that I'm not very popular since I'm not in. Second to last, the criteria used to measure the nominees and if they are worthy or not, which is really big for me. Like, how do you decide who gets in and who doesn't? What are the criteria? Again, should be posted, should be measurable, and completely transparent. And then finally, the Guy Fieri issue, pulling at the very integrity of the Barbecue Hall of Fame. That he's in there pulls at the very integrity, which I had said that if I was in this year, or it goes for next year, I will make a great induction speech, which you can count on. And then secondly, the first order of business. And of course, when you say, I don't mean to offend you, the next thing I'm going to say is bound to offend somebody. I will make it my first piece of business to try and get him out of the Barbecue Hall of Fame. And rightfully so, I might add. Guy, come on the show. Let's talk about it. Everybody tweeted Guy. All right, folks, let me talk to you quickly about Big Papa Smokers, the one-stop shop for anyone interested in barbecue, featuring a comprehensive selection of American-made grill spices, sauces, accessories, even a kit that gives you everything you need to make a world-class smoker out of a 55-gallon drum. BPS has banded together with fellow California-based rub company Simply Marvelous Barbecue to form the West Coast Offense. It's defying conventional wisdom. These are two California-based rub makers that have cornered the market on competitive barbecue. They've even created two unique competitions. King of the Smoker, that brings the best in barbecue, and a head-to-head back-to-basics competition. King of the Smoker unique in the fact that contestants can't use any electric devices, pellet cookers, or pit minders. They have to use charcoal, wood, and their wits to try and win one of the most high-stake barbecue competitions around. The other one is the Guinea Pig. That's a cost-controlled event that helps bring in newcomers to the world of competitive barbecue. It also features prize distribution all the way down to 10th place in each category. That helps provide incentive to get new competitors in the world of barbecue and keep the savvy veterans. Everybody wants some money. On top of that, Big Papa's created the unique brand ambassador program called the BPS Elite Team, featuring 15 of the best competition teams in the country working together to promote camaraderie, competition barbecue, and to benefit children's charities across the U.S. Keep in mind, what are we talking, like 6 years of being in the biz? Turning the competition barbecue world on its head, creating their own unique competitions, becoming a staple of a nationwide restaurant chain in BJ's Restaurant and Brew House, and most importantly, benefiting children's charities across the U.S. This is just the beginning still for Big Papa Smokers. The website, BigPapaSmokers.com. That's BigPapaSmokers.com. And we are back with Rick Baker from Al Fresco Home right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
The only show giving you a monthly visit from a doctor of barbecue. A man actually named Meathead. The author of a barbecue Bible. Bloggers, reviewers, competitors, and manufacturers by the dozens. It's the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Unknown Smoker Accessories, makers and purveyors of made in the USA stainless steel barbecue and smoker lid hinges, barbecue accessory hangers, rocket hot chimney grillers, and heavy-duty aluminum foil dispensers, the fine products from Unknown Smoker Accessories. Keep your gear where it needs to be, at arm's length, ready for battle. By the way, the Rocket Hot Chimney Griller is also available for sale at BigPapaSmokers.com, so you can get it at both places. Of course, all the products can still be found at UnknownBBQ.com/shop. That's UnknownBBQ.com/shop. All right. Got to be honest. Fell a little behind there on numbers and so forth, but now we're back where we need to be. Folks, up next, if you're looking for a new grill, if you're looking for a great product that might enhance your outdoor experience in terms of an oven. Look, we all know it's hot in the summer, and there's no better idea than, as we say, getting the heat out of the kitchen, literally, and my next guest might be able to help you do that. Let's go ahead and race over to the hotline and welcome Rick Baker to the show. Rick, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Greg. Doing great.
Good. Appreciate you making time here for the show. And I guess before we get into some of the product talk here this evening, maybe a little general background about yourself, if you're into that live fire cooking situation and kind of where you grew up, all that good stuff.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, I'm a Cleveland native, born and raised.
And you're saying it out loud. Wow, you're saying it out loud. All right. Love it. Appreciate that.
And, I raised my family in Brecksville. Kids went to school there. And about 11 years ago, I moved to Florida. So I'm now a resident of Florida. And I come back to Cleveland as often as I can, and except in the wintertime. But that's general background of Cleveland. I started my career in the restaurant industry. While in high school, I worked for actually a couple of restaurants that are still in business in the Cleveland area. I won't give away my age, but they're still in business, and it got me into the food. And to me, it's all about the cooking and the end result that makes it happen. It's being outside, being with friends, outdoors, in the experience. And that's kind of the nutshell of it. Greg, I can get into more. Just whatever you want me to say, I'm glad to say it.
From a live fire cooking standpoint, it seems like, when you grow up in this part of the country, it seems like you're two different ways. You're either in a family that is used to being out by the grill or doing some type of a barbecue, or it's almost like a foreign entity. Were you from, or which side of the fence was your family?
Well, our family, we did everything at home. So home cooked meals every night. That was the way it was when we grew up. And of course, being outside when friends and gathering and family came over, it was always cooking outside on the grill. So typical Cleveland stuff that you do on a nice day.
Rick Baker joining me here on the show. He's the sales and company brand manager for Alfresco Home, and the website, by the way, is alfrescohome.com if you want to check it out here while we're talking. Rick, talk to me about how you originally got started with Alfresco, and then we'll get into some of the products.
Sure. Well, Alfresco Home is a outdoor living company, and the family goes back several years. They produce casual furniture. They're a huge company with the casual furniture manufacturer, and we have customers all over the country. We got into that. That was my background. I worked for a large company in Cleveland that was one of the largest suppliers and retailers of patio furniture in probably all of North America. And we built sunrooms, room additions for the back of homes. And one of the things, the whole thing in Cleveland, especially, or Northeast, or really anywhere, is extending the seasons and bringing the outdoors in. And anything that goes outside or inside one of these rooms, I was in charge of. And one of the things we did was barbecue grills. And, starting out in the restaurant industry, at a very early age, I learned a lot about food and prep and cooking and in different ways of doing things. But when I had the opportunity to work for this big retail chain out of Cleveland, I had the opportunity to basically cook on just about any piece of equipment you can imagine. I go back that far, and I know a lot of the brands today. So I got my experience cooking over 25 years of being in this industry. And so that's kind of the real nutshell. But Alfresco Home is big in outdoor cooking. It's one of our divisions of the company. Casual furniture I mentioned earlier, and then we do garden pottery and accessory ceramic. You go to any of the big garden centers in Northeast Ohio. There's a few big ones there. You'll see Alfresco Home pottery all over the place. So that's kind of how I got started with them. I've known them for a while, and it's about as close as you can to being your own boss working for a company like this, because it gives me the opportunity to even go on shows like you and help people out with their cooking and that sort of thing. So that's kind of the quick story behind Rick Baker.
So is it grills and the ovens that you're specifically in charge of, or does it also entail the furniture and the pottery and all the other little subdivisions?
Yeah, as a brand manager, my sole responsibility is with the ovens and grill, what we call outdoor gourmet with Alfresco Home. Where I help out, our company, we really operate as a team, Greg, and we all help each other. So if I'm needed at certain times of year, like for instance, wintertime cooking outside is big, but it's not as big as say in Florida that time of the year in the wintertime. So I go where I need to go and do what I have to do, and because we have a lot of customers that not only have grills, but they also have casual furniture, so they do both.
Rick Baker joining me here on the show, and you can visit the website alfrescohome.com while we're talking. All right, Rick, so let's talk a little bit, I guess, first about the gas grill that you offer, and the name currently is Fervor. What can you tell me about that?
Well, Fervor, the name Fervor actually means warm or hot or with passion. And, cooking is all about passion. And the grill came into play. I'll basically tell you how it happened. We've been selling outdoor gourmet products for, I think, about 5 years now nationally. And the manufacturer that produces these grills for us came to us and said, hey, look, we want a grill for the North American market, but we don't know the North American market. How can you guys help us? So I won't bore you with all the details, but basically what we did, Greg, is we went to, we did a lot of research on this, and we brought in focus groups for professional chefs from around the country. We brought in retailers from around the country, guys that sell grills. We brought in their service techs. We brought in consumers and professional chefs, and we put them all in a room, and we asked them hundreds of questions, and we did this all over the country. And we took all their answers and input, and we put them all into one thing, and we came up with the Fervor Gas Barbecue Grill. So, for instance, who we partnered with is a company out of Australia that's been making barbecue grills for nearly 50 years. They service customers in over 30 different countries with offices around the world. Wow. And Alfresco Home is the sole, only national distributor of Fervor products in the country. And we're really proud to have that. So what makes the grill different? Or, the consumers, when we asked the consumers what they wanted in a grill, surprisingly, it all came down to the food. It was the taste of the food. And it didn't matter if there was a, $79 grill or a $4,000, all stainless steel, monster that you'd put in your backyard. It all came down to the taste. And so what we did was some of the features of this grill. I mean, all grills will cook food. I mean, that's what they do. What we tried to do is incorporate some smart and some friendly features of this grill. And I can go down through a list. I don't know how much time we have, Greg, but I can go over a few of these if you'd like me to.
Yeah, I think some of the real high level points is worthwhile, and people can hit the website and get a little bit more in the weeds if they want.
Okay, sure. Well, I'll just start. I'm imagining the grill here being in front of me, so I usually start from the top down and work my down, the way down. But a lot of grills, good companies use 3 or 4 grade stainless steel, so that's nothing different to Fervor. We use 3 or 4 grade stainless steel. However, what we do is we put a non-fingerprint coating on the finish. So when you touch the stainless steel, you don't leave any fingerprints, which is really kind of a cool idea. So all you need is really a damp cloth and wipe it down. There's no more cleaners or anything you have to use on our stainless steel. Matter of fact, it comes out of the box looking like brand new. You know, a little thing like your control knobs for your burners. We put a little rubber ring around the knob, so if your hands are greasy, so it's a non-slip control knob grip. Our grills are unique because we use a full width glass window across the entire width of the grill, and it's in a position in such a way that it'll never turn color or tint from the high heat. As a matter of fact, we warranty that for 25 years. So it's really kind of cool. And the reason why it doesn't get so hot is because the hood is insulated. So you can actually, when this grill is on and your hood is down, if you're roasting and you want to see what your food looks like, all you got to do is look through the window, which is really kind of a smart idea. You don't have to keep opening the lid of your grill to see what your food's doing. All you got to do is look inside. But if you happen to touch the hood of the grill, you're not going to get burnt because it's got an insulated grill hood to it. Again, just kind of another smart feature.
Hey, Rick,
even inside the grill. Go ahead, Greg.
let me ask you a question. Is this one of those things where, the window is like a good idea, and then after 3 cooks, it's all caked up with smoke and fat, and you really can't see in it, or no?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. When you're cooking on a grill, if you're grilling, you're generally grilling with the hood open. If you're roasting, you're cooking at a lower temperature with the grill hood down. So, if you have a lot of grease and fat, your hood is down and it's splattering all over. You'll get some grease and oil on your window, and it's just a matter really of some mild soap and water and wash it down, and you're ready to go. So, I can show you pictures of grills that are 8, 10, 12 years old, and the glass still looks like new. So, it's really cool. It's because it actually sits about 10, 11 inches above the grill grates, so it's less likely to get a lot of splatter. But it does, and you can certainly use it and not worry about it. But it's just kind of a smart idea to see what your food's doing without keep opening the hood. What else did I do for you here? Even inside the grill head, we even put the same finish that's on the inside of your oven, your self-cleaning coating, is that we have a patent on it. It's on the side of our hood. So if you get a lot of splatter and buildup, you can close the lid, turn it on high, let it cool off. It'll burn off, and then let it cool off, and just wipe it down with soap and water, and your inside of your grill head looks like new. It's really a neat feature that we put into there. We even put a bottle opener on this so you can open your favorite beverage. We most grills, expensive grills, will have like a rear burner for if you're going to use it for a rotisserie.
Mm-hmm.
We use a infrared stainless steel wire mesh rear burner, so you never have to worry about. So a lot of companies use like a ceramic brick.
Yep.
It kind of looks like if it got wet, or if it was raining and it got hot and you put some water on it, it would crack, or you moved it around your deck, you could break it. You never have to worry about this breaking. It works every time, which is just kind of a cool feature. You got positive ignition systems, so you can always light it. There's no battery that you have to worry about, and you can turn the knob and click it, and boom, it fires right up. We haven't even talked about the cooking of it yet, but these are just all kind of smart-friendly features. The chefs wanted like a drawer, like a storage drawer that they can put recipes or their extra tools in. So we incorporated a storage drawer on the front of it, so you can pull it out and boom, everything is right there.
Rick, a lot of people are always interested in like grill grates themselves. What kind do you use? Is it like a coated, or is it a raw? Like what's unique about your grill grates?
Great question. The part of our research included, we called over 300 restaurants across the country, nice steakhouses, names that everybody knows, and our professional chefs, and 98% of the restaurants in this country cook on cast iron grill grates. That's what we use. It's simply the best cooking grate out there. And why? Because it retains its heat. It holds its heat. As a matter of fact, you can get cast iron up to 5 times hotter than stainless steel. You get even heating. You don't get cold spots. You don't get hot spots. it's kind of like grandmother's, old cast iron skillet. They've had them for 30 years. So we took the professional chef's advice, and we only cook on cast iron cooking grates. And we do coat them with a matte enamel porcelain finish for longevity. And really all that you need to do is when you're done cooking, burn them off. A light scrape with your grill brush, and we'd recommend a little coat of cooking oil on it if you're done. And that's all you have to do to maintain the cooking grate. So we use cast iron. Really ask any professional chef, and they'll tell you the same thing.
Rick, one of the things when I was looking at it was you seem to have a unique, I'm trying to figure out the best way to term this, but heat or built-in zone cooking on the unit itself, if I'm saying that right.
That's correct. The grill does a couple of different things. Number one is we have a technology in the grill that we call Grill Smart. And what Grill Smart does, it's a technology that takes away the grease and oil and fats away from your food, drains down into the front of the grill into a collection cup on the left side panel underneath the left side shelf. So what you're doing is that all that excess grease and oil that normally would go down inside the grill is now being carried away from the grill. So you have less flare-ups, and it's really unique and different, and it's a healthier way of cooking. But the grill also has what we call zone cooking, where it's actually hotter in the back than it is in the front. And the best way I can explain it, if you were to, let's say you went out and bought 3 ribeye steaks, all the same size, all the same width, all the same weight, and you wanted to cook 3 of them, and you have somebody that wants a medium well, somebody wants a medium, somebody wants a medium rare. On this grill, you can put all 3 steaks on at the same time. 2 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other, and when you take them off, put them on a plate, you'll cut the medium well, you'll see there'll be medium well, the medium rare, all at the same time. Because typically what you got to do on most grills is you got to put the medium well on first, wait a minute or two, then the medium, and then the medium rare at the end. So now you can cook all foods at the same time on a Fervor grill.
And you're just basically deciding what zone you want to put what meat in order to get it to that internal temperature you're shooting for.
That's basically correct, yeah. What's really cool, Greg, is the where the burners are positioned. They're positioned very close to the grilling grates, and what that does is you use less BTUs now than you do on a typical grill. Most grills burners are 15,000, some are even 18,000 BTUs. Our burners are only 10,000, but our burners are about 3 inches away from the grill grate. So what that does is saves you about 25-30% in fuel costs that you normally spend on a grill, which again is another smart feature. But because the cast iron gets so hot, you can actually turn your burners down to like a medium heat, and you can still sear a steak perfectly. Get the sear marks on it. Cooking in the middle zone with no problem.
Rick, from a product or a model's standpoint on the Fervor grills, how many do you offer, and what are those price points at?
Sure. Well, we started with 4 models. There's 2 models that are 26 inches wide, one 32 and one 38. The 2 smaller ones, one is a nice red color. If you go on the website, you can see it. It's a beautiful looking grill. That grill is designed to sell at $7.99 retail. Then we have the same size grill, but in a stainless steel version. It also comes with the rear lights inside the cooking head and a side burner. That's a $10.99 grill. And then when you go to the 36-inch or the 32-inch, that's a $13.49, and the big guy is $15.99 at retail.
And those are all stainless steels, the higher end ones.
All stainless, yeah.
Yep,
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
From a dealership point of view right now, how well covered is the Fervor brand right now?
Well, it's fairly new. This is really only our second full year with the Fervor grill. We see Al Fresco Home. We have a dealer network of over 500 dealers across the USA, and of those dealers, a portion of them will carry the Fervor product. because we call them specialty stores. These are stores, you're not going to find this grill at a mass merchant.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there. That's not who we are, and that's not who we sell to. We cater to the small mom and pop stores. We give them a product that you'd be proud to own, and we give it to them, and we with our service and our warranty and so forth, and how we stand behind it. You get that through Al Fresco Home, and it's because once you get over a $5.99, $6.99 grill, there's a big void between $7.99 and say $15.99, and that's kind of where the Fervor Grill price point is. Because once you get over $15.99, most grills now are in the $24,000 to $5,000 range. So it's like having a better grill without spending the higher price.
Is that something where you could go on to the alfrescohome.com website and like have a find a dealer type of a search?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So we have a whole nother cooker to talk about, but I'm 100% out of time, Rick, because we're trying to build a little background and then talking about the Fervor Grill too. So why don't we go ahead and schedule another segment coming up here, and we'll talk about that Fornetto oven, which is absolutely attractive and awesome all at the same time. But I really appreciate the time tonight, and I appreciate you coming on.
Nope. You're welcome. We'll do it again.
All right, there he is.
Thanks for having me.
It's Rick Baker. Alfrescohome.com. He's the sales and company brand manager for Al Fresco Homes. Check out those grills. Really cool. I'm going to be putting one together. That's right. I said it out loud. I'm going to be putting one together. So you may or may not ever see. We all know how handy I am. Again, that was Rick Baker. Thanks to Rick. And I agree with Scott. Fornettos are really impressive looking. Absolutely. Chops Power Injector System, folks. The NBBQA 2015, 16, and 17. Barbecue Tool of the Year. 3 awesome sizes to fit your injecting needs. Number 1 is the half-gallon Chops Power Injector System, designed for competitions or to pump up the backyard warrior. Easy to use. Clean it, fill it, pump it, away you go. If you just have one brisket or pork shoulder to do, you don't need to fill it all the way up. Just put in what you need. It uses it all. It comes with 14-gauge needles, 2 replacement plastic needle adapters, 3 plug screws, and a needle protector. It's $100 plus you pay shipping. Then you have the 1-gallon Chops Power Injector System. This one is double the size. Some use it for the Memphis and May whole hogs, or maybe you're cooking 10 shoulders to get a perfect one. This one comes with the same amount of stuff as the first one. It's $120 plus you pay shipping. Then you have the Chops Full Power Injector System. It's electric and is the commercial and competition Big Daddy. It's not a holding tank this time, but a 3.5-foot pickup tube that you can put in any size container from a few ounces to a 55-gallon drum. It was designed for Chef Rob at the Best Barbecue Restaurant in Kansas City, and he has said time and time again that with the Chops Full Power Injector System, his briskets are better than ever. It comes with metal needle adapters, 14-gauge needles, 3-inch 12-gauge needles, 2-inch 11.5-gauge needles, 3 plug screws, and a needle protector. It's $325 plus you pay shipping. A number of the top pit masters in the country use the CPI system every day to make their barbecue better than the rest, because here's the deal. We live in a foodie world that now requires flavor in every bite. This is how you do it, and do it fast, and it's not just for meat. How about an alcohol-infused watermelon? You ever heard of Harry Buffalo? This is the way you can do that. Every injector hand-assembled right in Kansas City, Missouri, USA. Visit the website, barbecuekansascity.com. That's BARBEQUE, barbecuekansascity.com. Chops Power Injector System. Give your barbecue some power. All right, we're back with Tim Shop right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, the biggest name in pork is bringing you great opportunities this barbecue season. Get smoking with Smithfield and their Committed Cooks program. Learn more at smokingwithsmithfield.com. Again, the website smokin, S-M-O-K-I-N, smokingwithsmithfield.com. Go to the website. They're taking up to 500 committed cooks. You pay $20, you're going to get over $100 worth of stuff back. Hats, T-shirts, all the good stuff. Don't worry about it. Well worth it. Thanks to Smithfield. My next guest is the reigning Barbecue Ambassador Award winner of the KCBS last year, and I would argue that few other folks are doing what this guy does, both from a team aspect and to promote barbecue contests, not only in his state, but his surrounding states as well. He also happens to be a great competition cook to boot, giving us a heads up on a contest that's coming up here shortly. The Green Bay is the pitmaster of Tim's Full Belly Deli. Tim Shop joining me here on the show. Tim, how are you, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you, Greg?
Absolutely fabulous, Tim. Appreciate you making time tonight. We're talking about specifically the Golden Ribbon, the Gold Ribbon Barbecue Fest of Greater Green Bay. What's the heads up? What's the 411? What are we looking at right now?
Well, it's the second leg of the Barbecue Superstore Wisconsin Triple Crown, which is Masters in May, which we held the first week in May.
Yep.
This Gold Ribbon Fest, which is July 14th to the 16th, and Death Store Barbecue, which is, I believe, August 22nd through August 24th. All three are double competitions.
Wow, so you're actually cooking a total of 6.
A total of 6. You sign up as long as you cook 4 of them. You take your top 4 scores. Some guys are cooking 6, of course. Take your top 4 scores, and the top 10 in total cumulative points share $6,000 extra in a 7th award ceremony sponsored by the Barbecue Superstore. We had almost 60 teams at Masters in May.
Wow.
Green Bay is starting to look like it may be the biggest comp in the upper Midwest. We have 55 paid, 15 confirmed, and more signing up every day, and it's becoming as you were talking before, a group of legends. We have Sweet Baby Ray Dave Raymond will be cooking with his nephew, Deuce Raymond, Deuce is Wild. Scotty Johnson, Cancer Sucks, will be cooking with Dr. Barbecue, Ray Lampe. And, of course, we've got, last year we had 7 of the top 10 teams in the country there. It's looking like we have 7 or 8 coming now.
Do you have a cap set for that competition, Tim?
Yeah, 300. It's being held this year.
Wow.
And I mean that. It's a fundraiser for Golden House, which is a domestic abuse advocacy center for families, kids, men, women, whatever. Last year, we had a double there, 60 teams and 61 teams. It's quite the weekend show. We raised over $200,000 for it. This year, we received a Smithfield grant for Masters in May and a Smithfield grant also for Green Bay. There's going to be the Great American Cookout's going to be there. Darren will be doing Smithfield demonstrations. Smithfield reps will be there. They're going to be handing out ribs to the public. There's going to be a rib eating contest, a chicken wing eating contest. There's kids queue. It is a barbecue Super Bowl. The event's held at the Brown County Fairgrounds. Electric water, big campsites, picturesque, sitting up on a cliff above the beautiful Fox River. It's gorgeous. It's about 1.5 miles away from the stadium. The only reason we didn't have it at Lambeau Field this year is because the greatest football venue in the world is building on and adding on to, and there's some construction going on there. But between the 3 of them, with the Smithfield grant and everything, the 3 of them the purse is well over $90,000.
Wow.
Green Bay is $35,000 plus, and we are also having a SCA steak cook-off there, and it's a great show. And as I said, we've got teams coming from, I believe, 17 or 18 states. In fact, Chad Ward signed up today with Whiskey Bent. We got teams from Florida, Virginia, Oklahoma, Texas, from all over the country. And they've come back year after year. There's over 100 volunteers. It's a great venue, and it's very cook-friendly.
You can fit 300 teams there if they were to sign up?
Easily.
Easily.
We'd love to see 100, but 75 would be nice.
Wow, no doubt.
I mean, we went. This is the fourth year of the contest. The first year was held in the park on the river. We put 42 teams in. We only wanted 25. We ended up with 42. The next year, the first year at Lambeau Field, there was a single contest. We put in 81 teams.
Wow.
Last year, we put in 60 and 61. And like I said, we're already at 55 paid. I believe we're going to hit 80 teams by the time it's done.
Wow.
Easily.
What's the thought, and I guess does it coincide with this, with the whole championship that you've put together to do each contest as a double?
We're you know, if you follow the rules and regulations of the Smithfield grant and you see the things that Sterling's trying to do with the guinea pig and stuff like that, you know, we built Wisconsin barbecue in the last 4 years from 4 contests to 18 or 19. We did that by putting on new teams. But these new teams, they're hesitant when they see 40-foot trailers being pulled by $70,000 dualies and $10,000 smokers mounted on the back.
Of course.
We're trying to make it cook-friendly. And, you know, if you don't have to move your truck or drive 500 miles, you save a lot of money. We give a discount for signing up for the second comp. There's a lot of teams here in Wisconsin and our northern Illinois guys and people of the posse that, you know, we're having a contest this weekend, and several of us are paying for new teams' meet or paying their entry fee to get them started. And I feel the doubles, and I mean, I'm 63 years old. Believe me, they're hard on me. But they're a lot cheaper also. I mean, I'd rather do 10 doubles than 20 singles.
Well, I guess if you're a new team and you're up in your neck of the woods, easy way to get 6 competitions under your belt over the course of, 3.5 months, I guess.
Exactly. And I mean, we have a Wisconsin barbecue championship that pays money in trophies, and that's what you need is 6 competitions to qualify. And I mean, as I said, we have a contest this weekend coming up called POORQ, P-O-O-R-Q, and it means just that. Now imagine a contest with 40 teams, KCBS, Jack Draw, Royal, Invite, the whole works, and you're in a campground, electric, water, the whole works, and your entry fee is $85, and it includes your camping.
Wow.
Grand champion gets $5 and a pair of Mardi Gras beads with a little plastic thing that says POORQ. But how this was set up 8 years ago was to team professional cooks who want to come in and go for the draw with brand new teams and put them side by side and mentor them. And we've had years where it's 50-50, and these new teams get to talk to the guys that are winning every week and competing every week. And it's drawn a lot of brand new teams and brought a lot of new teams into it. We have a culinary college in Appleton, Fox Valley Technical College. They bring 4 groups of chefs, and they cook in it. And that college has their own barbecue team. It's all about trying to get the new cooks, to keep the sport going. You know, the Smithfield grant, the money has to go to the competitor. You have to pay down 20% of your field. You know, there's places still paying grand in reserve and in the top 5. Masters in May, we had 60-some teams. We paid down to 15th. Now, you think about the 5 or 6 cooks that were there, brand new cooks that got their name called and got a little check.
Mm-hmm.
We had a team, and I don't want to name him. He's been a kid who's come to our classes. He did his 3rd comp. He won it. He got a call, a top 10 call. He sent me an email 2 days later and signed up for 3 more comps. And that's what we need. I mean, if we're not going to bring anybody fresh in here, it's going to die, you know.
Tim Shop joining me here on the show, pitmaster of Tim's Full Belly Deli. Tim, aside from doing the great work that you do, putting on competitions, you've having a fairly decent competition year yourself as a team. How are you finding the 2017 season unfolding for you and the team right now?
Well, our average for the first six comps, we're doing better than any other year. We don't have a grand or a reserve yet. We've got a couple of 3rds and a 4th and a 5th, and a few category wins. It's the age-old problem, you know, people complaining about judging. The judging up in the Midwest, you can't buy a 180 or a 700 up here. It's kind of tough. But I think we're going to have a great. I think we're going to have a great season. I see scores coming up. I see a lot of new teams that we mentored in the past that might just kick our ass this year. But that's what this is all meant to do. I always said if this isn't going to be fun, I'll quit. I can go cater. I can make more money catering, more money vending, or feeding my neighbors. But it's a lot of fun. The family atmosphere, the camaraderie is great. If you've never done a Wisconsin comp or an upper Midwest comp, you talk to somebody who has. Luke was up in Chicago with us 2 weeks ago. He had a great time. First time in Illinois. Travis Clark loves coming up here. We make it fun. We make it a full weekend.
If Tim has piqued your interest and you're ready to make the trek up to Green Bay, the website is greenbaybbq.com to sign up for the Gold Ribbon Barbecue Fest, correct?
Right. And Greg, you can sign up for $100.
That's
and
it.
You can bring a check with you.
All right, $100. Not $250, not $350.
I'm telling you, you sign up for $100 and bring a checkbook with you or your debit card. I think they're 25 by 50 sites. Basically, it's a fair park. Trees, grass, beautiful roads, electric water. Everything is there, and it's all ours.
Sounds like a fabulous venue. Again, the website, greenbaybbq.com. Might have 80 teams by the time it's ready to kick off, and it's thanks to Tim Shop of Tim's Full Belly Deli. Tim, always appreciate the time, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much, Greg. Appreciate it.
You got it. There he is. The reigning barbecue ambassador for the KCBS, and that's why, I might add, it's not up there. Is that Skype thing up there the whole time? Nobody's going to tell me that? I agree with, I disagree with Scott. I think Poor Q is a great concept as well. Never mind, that's a joke. I can't agree with Scott twice in the same show. The world could literally blow up. And I don't want that to happen. So, all right, let me play clock catch up here and talk to you quickly about Cook Shack. They manufacture smoker ovens for barbecue lovers with any amount of experience, whether you barbecue in the backyard, on the competition circuit, or in a 5-star dining facility. Cook Shack has the unit that will do the job. And with a full line of barbecue sauces, spices, pellets, and wood chunks, it's the perfect one-stop shop. Cook Shack strives to be your barbecue resource center by offering cooking classes, online recipes, how-to videos, 2 blogs, smoking, grilling 101s, and a video cooking classroom. Check out their website at cookshack.com or follow them on these social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+. Get advice or share your passion for barbecue on their world-class barbecue forum. Cook Shack pellet-fired smokers are the choice of champions because they were designed by a champion, Ed Fast Eddie Morin. The FEC 100 and PG 1000 always customer favorites. The PG 1000 can double as a smoker and a grill, low and slow, hot and fast. The pellet grill line gives you the most for your money. Cook Shack residential smokers are the #1 smoker in the industry. That's right, I said it. The #1 smoker in the industry. High quality means high durability and versatility. Anything you can cook in your oven, you can make in a Cook Shack. Passion and dedication drives Cook Shack's manufacturing, with quality always being the top priority. Get the best in barbecue since 1962. Call 800-423-0698. That's 800-423-0698, or visit their website, cookshack.com. That's cookshack.com. All right, thanks again to Tim Shop from Tim's Full Belly Deli. Again, it's the Gold Ribbon Barbecue Fest for Greater Green Bay, and the website is greenbaybbq.com. That's greenbaybbq.com if you're interested. He said $100. You don't even have to pay. Just sign up on the website, bring your checkbook or debit card when you show up. You can pay, and you're off and running. Again, part of the, is it the Wisconsin Championship, sponsored by the Barbecue Superstore, but there's 3 events, and they're all doubles. So you cook at the Green Bay, at the Gold Ribbon Barbecue Fest, you're going to have 2 competitions under your belt by the time the weekend's over. All right, we're back to wrap the show right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
This segment being brought to you by the National Pro Barbecue Tour, presented by Sam's Club. 31 cities, $500,000 in cash, eternal bragging rights if you win the whole damn thing. This weekend, the 2017 Pro Tour rolls into Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for a qualifier that is local. To get more info on the tour, register your team to compete if there's still open spots, or to check results. That's what I do. You can visit kcbs.us/Sam's Tour. That's kcbs.us/Sam's Tour. All right. Let's go ahead and make tracks out of here. All the way back in the first hour, we talked with Paul Shoddy from Head Country. Headcountry.com is his website. We will talk to him next time about competition barbecue, all the way back in the 90s to present day. We talked with Mike Lang. Get it from Another Pint Please. That's anotherpintplease.com. We're on the Twitter at AnotherPintPLS. A lot of talk about Weber, how he shoots videos, how he edits videos, and, of course, the Weber Summit Charcoal Grill as well. We've both noticed that barbecue restaurants becoming more and more prevalent here in the Buckeye State, especially in our respective cities. Second hour, Rick Baker. Hey, Rick Baker from alfrescohome.com. The Fervor Grill is what we talked about mostly. Fernetto Oven will be next conversation. Check it out on the web if you want to have a little precursor. FernettoOven.com. And helping me close the show tonight was Tim Shop from Tim's Full Belly Deli, talking about the Gold Ribbon barbecue of Greater Green Bay. Big show already planned for next week. Looking forward to that. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Again, thanks to Doug Scheiding from Row Cookers for helping me secure Paul Shoddy in the first hour. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.